Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And as you can see, I have been busy. This is kind of what I had, and this is what I had. I've been storing these away for a little while because I wanted to do something kind of big on Christmas Day. And this is it. Your eyes are not deceiving you. There are 5 of them here. And I have done them all in Christmas colors, if you will. Red and green. Unfortunately, there were only 5 slots, so I couldn't... If I had 6 slots, I would have alternated them again, and I actually do have a 6th one of these cars in the parking. But 5 of them was more than I ever wanted to do at once. But here they all are. They are all 100% done. I got each one of these from the Junkyard. Each one of them was about between $300,000 and $500,000 in the Junkyard. And of course now they are all 100% complete. For anybody who's interested in the numbers, I went through and totaled up everything. Each car has a value of, let's see, three of them are actually valued at $2,220,075. I'm sorry, $2,230,075. So that's 3 of them are that value. One of them is $2,230,600. I can't even read my own numbers anymore. That first number was $2,230,075. One car is worth $2,230,600, and one car is worth $2,230,850. I'm not sure why there's a variation in the value, because they're all built exactly the same way. I thought it might have to do with the color, but it doesn't seem to matter. Because the $850,000 one, the $850 one is red. The three that end in 75, 2 of them are red and 1 of them is green, and the other green one is the one that ends in 600. So I'm not sure why they aren't all the same value. Same thing with the restoration bonus. The restoration bonus on all of them is $446,000, but 2 of them are $446,015. One of them is $446,120, and the other one is $446,170. So, and then the mileage for all these cars, the lowest mileage one is one of the green ones, and it's 1,847 miles. One red one and one green one are both 5,000 miles. One is 5,500 and the other is 4,900. I'm sorry, 5,900. And the last red one, 2 of the red ones are both 9,400 miles. One of them is 9,440, the other one is 9,494. So they're all less than 10,000 miles. One of them is less than 2,000 miles. But the one that's less than 2,000 miles is less valuable than the one that is at 9,494 miles. So those are the statistics. And the final total, because I totaled all this up ahead of time, for selling these cars is going to net me $13,382,010. That is a Christmas present for me. So, and I have to get them out of here if I want to make room to work on more cars anyway, so let's start selling. And that number should go from 98 million to, what is it? I should have totaled that up too. 98 plus 13 is 101 million and change. So let's, no, that's not right. 8 plus 3 is 12, carry the 1, $112 million. Let's get these out of here. The last one that I still have in storage, I haven't bothered to keep one of these cars because I'm not particularly fond of them. I think the Veyron looks a little bit better than the Chiron, so I kept a Veyron. Since I do still have one of these Chirons in my parking, I may build one out and paint it red and keep it, because I am kind of fond of, I like red cars anyway, and even cars that I don't particularly care for, I like them in red. Yep, there we are, $112 million. I don't mind telling you how much work that was either. I was able to work on 3 of them at a time. 2 of them had to wait while I cleared up space to move them to the front. And I didn't try to rebuild the engines the way I normally do. I just built 5 brand new engines and plopped them in as the cars were ready. Now, I actually have a car stored away that I'm going to work on here. And I hope it didn't end up there. Where did it go? It must be right there. And where did it go? There. Oh, it went over there. So this is actually the Lotus Esprit that I've been looking for a long time. I finally found one of these after I finished all those Chirons. I went to the junkyard just to kind of clear my head a little bit, and lo and behold, there this car was. So I can finally get one of these done. This one has the strange sideways 4-banger engine in it that I've been looking forward to working on. Guess the radiator doesn't need to have a fan. Okay. Alright, so that should be all of my body parts. Let's flush out the junk before I put something back on that shouldn't be back on. Does it say, it says Lotus on there? I don't think I noticed that before. Okay, that should be 100% body. Perfect. For some reason that keeps happening. I have to keep clicking off of the thing before it'll let me use it. Okay, let's paint the car. This is an interesting kind of color. I think what I would like to do, though, is... Let's see, how do I get... Yeah. Make it like James Bond in The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, just have to go with the white. And this isn't going to be like a high-performance car by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we will pump it up as much as we can, but it is still just a 4-cylinder engine. Come on. I'm trying to get to the sway bar and I'm clicking on everything else. Alright, cool. Now we can start cleaning up this stuff and get what we need. 12 bushings. And we'll flush the brake parts. And the tie rods and the rack. Those are sway B. They pretty much have to be sway, because sway bar A is for front suspension A. The only one that I have to occasionally pay attention to is the front sway bar, because sometimes it's A and sometimes it's B. Okay, and we'll get the parts for the double wishbone front. because I'm going to need to build those. Okay, now we'll get the hubs, which should be that. Yep, they're all the same parts. Front axle knuckle cover. Or not. What were those? I'm gonna have to look at that again and see what I typed. I must have typed something wrong. Because normally I can do that. Yeah, I must have typed something else. I don't know what I did. Let's see what's left. Suspension arms, crossmember, and knuckle. Looks like we were able to repair most of that stuff. All of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna stick with the stock rims on this. So that's Esprit 14-inch. Although I am going to give it sport tires instead of standard tires. 195/70. I have to think on that a little bit. I wonder if it's possible to make that noticeable. I wonder if I paint it white, will it be noticeably different? Yeah, that's definitely noticeably different, and I think it looks better like that. So I have to take this one back off. I've been experimenting with ways to try and do this so that it makes a bit more sense to me. And like I can get the double wishbone, I can get the shock absorbers out without taking everything apart, because I know I'm going to have to throw them away and build new ones anyway. So I've been lately trying to do it in a way where I pull out stuff, and there was something else I meant to do, where I pull out things that I know I'm going to be throwing away and just building the new ones on the spot, rather than doing it all at once to try to make things make a little bit more sense and maybe streamline the process a little bit. I think there's really only so much you can do. Let's see, I can just flush these now. Try and repair that. Let's see if they have Esprit exhaust parts. And they do not. Oh, didn't let me repair that gearbox, so I have to go buy one of those. Double wishbone rear. Should go ahead and yank the engine now too. I like how it opens the front hood even though the engine is in the back. That amuses me. Of course, it amuses me that the engine crane is at the front of the car anyway, when it should be back there. Okay, so we can flush those. Wonder if I should try to repair these. 16% on that one. %12 on that one. Probably not going to get either one of them. And we did successfully repair one, that's nice. So, Esprit 14. And for the rear, 205 70 14. Okay, well, let's see if I can do this without screwing it all up. See, now all three of them show this, and I know I didn't paint the other one. Okay, that one is coming up like that. And so is that. Okay, one of those rims is not painted. The only one that's painted, I know for sure, is that one. So I'm going to have to start mounting tires. Okay, that one's got paint on it. That one is not painted. There, now we should only have one rim in our inventory. This stuff, sometimes this is just a real pain in the butt if you have more than one to deal with. Matt. Okay, yeah, that's definitely painted now. So we can go put this one back on, because this is the 195. Yeah, that one goes on the front. That looks a lot better than the bare metal one. And it looks appropriate for the car, though. Can you imagine driving around a car like this with a matte white on the wheels? It would be so filthy, so fast. Be killing yourself forever trying to keep it clean. I have an extra somewhere I didn't put a bushing in. It must be the front cross member. I was like, why do I have 9 bushings? wheel hub B. Have to pay attention to that. So every now and then they like to sneak that in. The rest of this stuff should be suspension arms and the rear axle knuckle covers. Only got about half of those pieces, it looks like. Both uppers and one bottom. Was that bottom B? I think it was. This is going to be another one of those ones where we won't be able to actually install the rear wheels and stuff until the engine is back in. Okay. Starting to look like more of a car now, though. I see a bunch of things here we can already replace. There's no spark plugs in it. Are there even any pistons in there? Yes, there are. It's kind of nice working on it slanted like this. Everything is kind of pointed at you. Alright, before we start repairing, let's go ahead and get rid of the stuff we know we're not going to use. And I4E, that's what we're working on here. Here's the heads. ignition wires, I4E, we're going to need that. Carburetors. Okay, what else can we get rid of? I want to try to repair the block manifold. I4R. So that was like an intake manifold. I4E, yeah, that's the one. Cam gear I6. There are 3 of them. Serpentine belt I4E. I bet it takes both of these. Okay, let's see if we can repair the rest of this stuff. So we got the block and the crankshaft. I think that's 2 of those and 3 of those. 2 of this, 3 of these, and we should be able to make a good start here. Naturally, an alternator. And no, I didn't buy clips for that distributor cap either. Oh, I didn't buy the gearbox stuff. I remember flushing those pieces, but I guess I didn't buy them. Oh, looks at that, it needs a coil. This is kind of a refreshing change from all of the great big engines that I've been working on lately. This one is a lot less stuff to bolt in. Oil pan I4E. Probably this oil filter, right? Either that or the I6 oil filter. This thing is so weird looking. All slanted over like that. Surely that's where the oil filter goes. Air filter cover. Typed in I4C, but it gave me the I4E that I wanted anyway. And what is down here? Exhaust manifold I4E. Let's see, head cover I4E. I guess there's no oil filter. Oh, you know what? The starter goes here. I bet that has to go in first and then the oil filter. It doesn't make sense that it wouldn't have one. I have to take the engine cover off because with the engine cover in, I won't be able to touch the engine to put oil in it. There it is. I was going to say, where the hell's the oil plug? Accessible from engine bay. Of course it is. glad I put white on the rims. It looks really good with the white car. The bare metal wouldn't have looked as nice. Ah, see? Oh, look at it. It's going to make me put it back up. You bastards. It says they're World Champion Car Constructors 1973. And I think it says 1979. No, 72, 70 to like... maybe it says 1983? I'm still missing that rubber bushing. I forgot to put it back on. I knew that I know it needs to go on there, and I forgot to put it. Oh, whoop, that's a nice view of the tire there. I'm sure that has to belong to the front. I can see it. Yep. Goes right there. And that should be 100% across the board. Since I don't have any loose parts floating around in my inventory. Yep, she's all done. Now we can test it. We managed to stick a lot of performance parts on that engine, so we might get something. We might get a little. I mean, we're going to get an improvement. That's not going to be huge, but we'll get something. 179. I don't think it'll get to 300, but maybe. That's pretty good for a little four-banger engine like that. To double it, it would be what? 18, carry the 1, 15, 85, 358 would be to double it. Really bare bones in here. I think this car. I mean, this car dates from the early '70s to maybe the late '70s. I'm trying to remember when The Spy Who Loved Me came out. I think it came out in 1979. So it would be that vintage. Let's take her out for a drive and see what we got. Okay, here we are. I hate that you can't look around from inside the car. It's white, but we knew that, right? I like it though. I think it looks better than the color it came with. And it's a nice and compact little car. I have it in my head that these things are considered to be kind of mechanically unreliable. I don't know if that's true. It's just something I'm imagining hearing. But I mean, the game here doesn't really model that kind of thing. The sport tires usually give awful traction, but we only have 280 horsepower, so it should be okay. It's not like 1200 horsepower in a Pagani or something. I think we're going to get 150 though, at least. 153. Yeah, for that little engine, 153 strikes me as really respectable. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go back. Okie doke. So we're all done. We have completely rebuilt the car. We've sat in it, we've driven it. Let's see how much it's worth. Not a whole lot. It's kind of... Oh, of course, I just made $13 million today, so this is just a little bit of gravy on top, but still. It's only, what, $62,000? You would think for a car that... You'd think it would be... I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll do some research online and see how much one of these goes for real. I can't imagine you could get a pristine, you know, totally rebuilt, totally upgraded, as much as you possibly could anyway. I mean, I can't imagine you could get a totally pristine car like this for $62,000. I'm sure it would have to go for more. But either way, we'll go ahead and shoot it out the door. And that will bring this one to a close. So, get a shot of the Christmas tree here. Alright, cool. So, just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you all had a nice holiday. Kind of ran out of steam there. Anyway, so if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you again for our next Junkyard adventure. So on that note, bye for now.